It's that time of year. It's the time when I tell Rick how much we've spent on groceries for the entire year. Are you ready?
I look forward to it.
Maybe he won't. Hey everybody, it's Amanda.
And Rick.
And I, every year, do a budget wrap-up where I share with my husband and you all how much we have spent on groceries for the entire year. I've done it for the last several years. And I knew that this year was going to be different because normally the past several years, we've actually shared every single grocery haul on the channel.
Right.
So if you went back, you could double check and see, you know, everything that we spent. This year was different. This year was 2020, the big C word. And I actually stopped because at some point in March-ish, everybody was kind of going crazy with their grocery shopping and there were shortages. There was all kinds of stuff happening. I didn't want to feed into that, so I stopped sharing grocery hauls for a good long period of time. I don't think I started back up till maybe like July or August. And during that time, we, like everyone else, had to make sure we were stocked up, you know, whenever we could. So I spent a whole lot, and frankly, even at the end of the year, beginning of the year, I started off right, just so you know.
A lot of people do that.
But by the end of I think we were all changed by this year. You know what I'm saying? We were all changed. By the end of the year, I was still in that gotta stay stocked mode. And frankly, you were too. We started making some changes mid-year. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, yeah. So there is no month-by-month breakdown. What I did do, though, was go back through our records. And I'm gonna share with you what our total was for the year.
Okay.
Just to refresh you.
Refresh.
So you're aware.
Yes.
In 2017.
2017. That went back a ways.
We spent $2,403.60.
Okay.
2018. We spent $3,574.52.
Okay.
So we went up like $1,000. Then last year, 2019, we went down again to $2,880.07.
Okay.
Are you ready? I don't know if you're ready. You're well aware that we spent more than usual.
Yeah, I know. I know. Fully aware.
I just
already know.
I want to make sure you know. This number is a big number.
What are we discussing again?
How much you spent on groceries this year? It's gonna sound like I was buying something else though.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
Yes.
Everyone ready? I'm ashamed to admit it. $5,160.63. You're in shocked silence, I see.
I'm dry. Strange. I weigh about the same. I guess.
Well.
No, I know. Go ahead.
Noticeable differences between this year and many other years. First of all, we have had the freezer this year, and it has been completely stocked.
Yes.
Mostly all the year. Like this year more than any other year, we have got the problem that we have. There were some years that our problem was putting enough food in the house. This year, our problem has been consistently, there's no room for more food. Like if there's a hole for food to fit into, I'm gonna plug it in with some food.
Right.
So you can definitely, there's definitely, you can see that we have gotten more food for sure. And I will say this too. Here's another thing that's changed about how we shop for food. Because there were years when our budget was super tight, right? We didn't always have the highest quality food. But since we did have more flexibility in our budget, we could afford it a little more this year. Rick changed jobs. I think that definitely factored into our budget. And so since we could afford things a little bit better, we did oftentimes make choices to buy higher quality things. Some things that we've gotten, Butcher Box. Shout out to Butcher Box.
Yep.
Love our Butcher. You love Butcher Box?
I do. I do.
I love Butcher Box. And so it's not the cheapest thing in the world, but the reason why we buy it, and one of our goals for a long time has been to improve the quality of the things that we eat, especially as we've gotten older and had health issues. So there is the higher quality aspect of it as well. So we have more food and we have higher quality food.
Yes.
And by the way, that increase is not, it's not even double. And considering what our budget is normally, we're still probably around the same range as most normal households, if that.
Right. Oh, I know that. I'm aware of that.
Let me tell you what it breaks down to. It breaks down to an average of $430 a month. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's an average of $99.24 a week. Mm-hmm. So it's like $100 a week, less than $100 a week. And I think most families would probably struggle with staying under that $100 a week mark. You guys let me know what you think about that. Is that like, I think that's like a normal mark. I've had Facebook groups that talk about food for a lot of years, and I feel like that's where most people kind of stay at. And considering this year we had all of the issues that we had. I think probably most people went over budget, honestly. That breaks down to $14.14 per day, $2.82 per person per day, or 94 cents per person per meal on average. I'm sorry, yes, 94 cents per person per meal. Which, in compare, our budget is set at $65 a week. So to be spending about $100 a week is only $35 a week more. And that's why we don't really feel that. You know what I'm saying? That's why we're absorbing it without much stress. You know? And can I also say, we do have an entertainment budget for eating out. And there was a very long period of time where nobody was going out. So I think we also absorbed that part of our budget into our grocery shopping budget.
Yeah, I know.
So,
True.
Are you truly shocked by these numbers?
No.
Do you care? Are you going to stay up late at night stressed about these numbers?
Wait a minute. I'm trying again. Yeah, I'm fine. No. Listen. I knew we were spending more. But then when you hear a number read, it's a kick in the gut for a minute. But I'm fine. I'm fine. Yeah.
I mean, we're not like broke or anything.
Right.
I didn't spend us into the poorhouse.
Yeah.
It was still within what we could afford.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it's been a tough year for a lot of people. And everyone has little stories where they were stretched here or there.
And prices went up too.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes extremely.
And just to have the money to get what you need, and not just that, to even be able to have some things more than you need, is a blessing. And I'm not going to complain about any of that. So yeah, it would have been nice if we were under, but being over, considering the circumstances and everything, totally understood. And I'm just glad that we're still doing well.
Me too. Praise the Lord. It's all worked out. Thank you for being so understanding.
Sure. We'll talk later though. No. It's all settled here. We're good.
All right. We set some goals last year. Do you remember our goals?
You're going to remind me. I do remember goals. But
Goal 1, garden.
Yes, I know. I remember that one now.
Guess what?
Rings a bell.
If anything we did this year that was a goal that we set, we did that one.
We did. And what did I say just the other day?
I don't know.
That this year I want to go all out.
Yes. He wants to like double the garden.
I do. Last year we wanted to do a garden, and it was kind of like let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, we had gotten close for many years and never actually got to the point of having a garden, period.
We grew the year before, but not like this year.
Yeah.
This year we had an actual garden.
This year we were more aggressive.
Yeah.
And we actually got something, got more than, you know. And
do you know what all we got? Peas, we got carrots, we got kale of multiple kinds, we got spinach, we got garlic, we got, what else did we get? We got obviously a lot of tomatoes, cantaloupe, zucchini. I mean, we had blueberries that grew in our bush. Like, we had all kinds of stuff. Like, we really grew a lot of stuff. We grew a straight up garden.
So it did inspire me to think bigger.
Yeah.
And we've been over the house lately of friends of ours who, they go a lot bigger than we do. And it was actually encouraging to say, you know, hey, why don't we take a step and really act like we know what we're doing and shoot for the stars, you know what I mean? Actually see what we can do. I think a garden is a great thing. Yeah.
So we are meeting our goals there. And then another goal that we had that we've also done really well with this year, which is partially why we've spent a little more, is food storage. Last year, without even knowing what the year was going to bring, we set our word of the year last year was urgency. By the way, our word of the year for next year, we're going to share with you tomorrow. But our word of the year last year was urgency, and one of our goals was food storage. And we have definitely amped that up. We have really hit the food storage hard. And we even shared with you guys, we got the long-term storage buckets, which I have wanted for a long time. And we're working on that. So food storage, we have really improved. And I think we're going to continue to improve. I'd really like to, we'll talk about goals, continuing goals in a minute, but I think that's something we're going to continue with as well. Okay. The last goal that we had was a maybe, and that goal was chickens.
Oh, chickens.
We didn't reach that goal yet.
The love-hate of the chicken.
Well, there's no, you love to eat it.
Chick-fil-A.
In many forms.
But a backyard Chick-fil-A.
We are actually kind of at a pause on the chickens for now.
Go ahead.
Believe it or not,
You
Rick
tell it.
Rick is actually more for chickens than he has ever been.
Can you believe that? I'm taking a step up, she's taking a step back.
I'm taking a step
Isn't
back.
that something? Doesn't that just echo marriage? I was kidding.
Well, you know.
Oh my, it's funny though.
We're slowly sending some kids off.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm realizing that chickens would be a lot of work. And I'm kind of liking my freedom for now. But I do like the idea of having more control over our food. So we have talked about seeking out more options in terms of farms in our area for next year. So on that note, I'll bring us toward our goals for next year. I definitely think I'd like to bring what we've spent down from what we spent this year. But I would like to use what we have, again, to seek out more local folks that we can get things from, that we, know how they were grown and processed and things like that. So that's definitely a big goal. I definitely want to amp up our food storage even more. I want to have it more organized. I'd love to have a pantry. Pantry is like, more than I want chickens, I want a pantry, like a big old built-in pantry. And the garden, doubling it. I think that's definitely goals for this year. How do you feel about my thoughts on the goals? By the way, I don't tell him this in advance because I want to get his raw reaction here.
Well, I already told you, you just brought it up 10 times. The garden,
double.
I'd like to go bigger.
Yeah.
I don't really want to go bigger in the thinking of growing a bunch of oddball items. Because truth be told, I'm not a picky eater.
You're not.
If we grow it, I'll eat it. But there are things that you grow for fun, and then there are things that you grow because they're ingredients in a lot of different things. And I want to grow more staples, and just a lot of it. And I'm fine with you figuring out ways of canning it, storing it, or freezing it,
dehydrating,
so we can have it throughout the year. I do think we should go big on the garden. I am more open to chickens than I've ever been. Yet the whole taking a step back thing, I think, is practical, at least for the moment. For so many other reasons, even right down to the fact that I think the way time's marching on, the way we are, with a son living in one state and all these other kind of opportunities that we're having in ministry and such, I'd like to open the door for more travel.
Yes, I agree, and that's partially why I said pause on the chicken.
And although, I mean, we have friends of ours that have chickens, and it was spending time with them is what made me consider it greatly, because we have cats, and I'm like, well, it's like cats that peck. You know what I mean? It's like Chicken Town.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, it'll be all right. But at the same time, it's a commitment.
It is.
That is fine. It's a great commitment if you're committed to staying home, or if you have people to help you at your house while you're gone. But I just know when Ricky got married, I mean, it was hard to make sure that the cats outside were taken care of and somebody was in the house taking care of Lady.
Which is why I was thinking that we could find other local farmers, that they could worry about raising it.
And seek to be a blessing to them.
Yes.
Because folks like that, they have a heart for it, and they want people like us to come along and say, hey, I like what you're doing here. I like your product. You know, I'll partner with you, and you take care of it. I'll buy from you, and then we can have that back and forth, and that's good, and that's America. You know what I mean? But
in its most beautiful form.
Yeah. So it's a two-sided coin. I'm more okay with chickens than I've ever been, but I still think
the goal of finding farms better. In
our family right now, I mean, maybe one day, if the Lord says, hey, you know what, I want you to be a homebody and not leave, maybe we can have more of a larger functioning homesteady type farm thing. But right now, we need the freedom to be able to just come and go. That way, it's with that thinking that I think we should get a like someone that you said, a farmer in the area that grows has farms, chickens.
And the food storage.
That's what I'm saying.
You're good with the food storage goal. Because we have our long-term food storage that we just started building.
Yes.
And so we talked about having that as a goal as well, to make sure we're looking towards our long-term.
Honestly and truly, I think you would have to be someone living under a rock to not see
the need,
the intelligence behind learning good, proper, functioning food storage procedures, techniques, and actually doing it.
Yeah.
This year, I mean, you know what I mean? If you could grow toilet paper in the backyard and store and can that,
people would be doing it.
But you may not be able to do that.
We kind of are. We got a lot of trees.
Yeah, I know. Just make sure you take the bark off.
I meant the
leaves. Awkward. Okay. But anyway, whatever you can grow, process, make at home, you need to have it more than just that moment that you process it and make it.
Yeah.
You need to learn how to think ahead and know, hey, this month I need it, but next month I'll need it. And I might not be able to grow it next month, so I need to grow it and can it or store it this month, so next month I can have it. And we need to make sure that we're taking care of and planning ahead throughout the entire year. I think this year was a gentle punch in the face. Showing people like myself who never thought it was a big deal that there is some value to it. There's a lot of value to it. It's something that we really ought to be thinking about. Okay? I mean, I'm not saying that we all should run to the hills screaming and panicked, but we all need to learn, and I think take a step in putting these skills into practice so we can better take care of ourselves and our families, making sure that we have enough for the future. So food storage, any kind of storage, I think is smart, wise, and definitely should be a priority. Yes, thumbs up.
All right, so that's our 2020 breakdown. It almost broke us down. No, it didn't. We're fine. But you know, we're really thankful that we've gotten through everything, and we did spend more than we usually do. But you know, hopefully next year, really, it's going to have to be. We're really going to have to figure out some numbers. We're still not out of the ballpark of where we need to be. Even spending up to $100 a month. And I've always said we could have been spending that longer. I just prefer to save, and this year we still save, but not as much as I would have preferred. So we're going to try to balance that in the coming year and hopefully spend less on groceries.
Honestly, truly, I think that the spending more is because, like so many others, we got to a point where you're just like, we need it. We're just going to have to do it.
Yeah.
And when certain supplies were running out in stores,
you had to make sure.
Maybe what you usually buy was not there, so you had to buy the more expensive.
Yeah.
You had to buy whatever they had, so your costs went up. I think one of the plans, and this also goes with food storage, but also growing stuff and learning and all this stuff, we need to learn how to grow more, spend less.
Yes.
You know, and by doing so, to make it more profitable, grow it and know how to keep it long term, and that's canning or freezing. And I'm getting what a lot of people already know.
I love how you're tying it together.
A lot of people already know this. It just takes folks like myself a little longer and a tough year to be able to see the value in it. And I'm beginning to see it.
I won't say I told you so.
Well, don't, because I already know it. There's no need to say it.
On that note,
yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
I love you, baby.
Couldn't be any better. Come back tomorrow, and we will be talking about our word of the year for 2021. Yes. I think you will appreciate it. So, and I do want to tell you this too. Butcher Box. They are having a keto bundle sale. If you are interested in maybe spending a little extra but getting good quality meat, but here's the thing, I always love a good deal. With the keto bundle, you get like 7 pounds of different cuts of meat completely for free if it's your first time ordering a Butcher Box. Yeah. I have information about that down in the description box below. You guys can check that out if you're interested. And it's my affiliate link, and it helps us out and keep us going. And we're really thankful that they help us out on our channel. So anyway, if you guys are interested, we get Butcher Box. We love it, and we know you will too. So anyway, that's it. Thank you guys for joining us. Come back next year and we'll share what we spend then. We'll see if we can do any better. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time.